What superpowers have you noticed emerge in your own lives as you've gotten older? And just maybe a quick note on how you think that might have supported your success, particularly in business.
I feel like I'm just getting warmed up. And Stephen, maybe you have a similar sense. Like there's a point where suddenly, because of attention, the intention to be whole leads to attention placed in how do I become whole? How do I optimize myself? And we use different words, right? But really trying to get to the same thing. How do we become the best version of ourselves and live a meaningful life? So when we have that intention and we become growth mindset people and we relentlessly are seekers of that, then we put our attention on how does that work, right? And so more and more people are finding Flow Research Collective or Unbeatable Mind, and they're finding a path, which has been very, very lacking in Western society, is a path of integration toward wholeness with coaches like Tori and like our Unbeatable Mind and Navy SEAL coaches who have walked that path and say, okay, here's a way, follow me, and I'll help you kind of carve your own path, because there's no one path, there's literally an infinite number of individual paths. But to follow a path, this is what we mean by mastery. What are we talking about when we talk about mastery? It's to follow a path toward becoming more whole, right? And then that's experienced as peak and optimal performance, experienced as heart opening and more compassion, experienced as greater perspective, more inclusiveness, right? Better communication skills, greater vision, more alignment with that sense of purpose, which gives you much more power, grit, resilience, all that kind of stuff. So there's just different words to describe this experience. So finding that path is critical. Here we are, we're just getting warmed up at 60 years old. The future is just this massive creative outlet. It's like a blank slate, tabula rasa, and we get to open our eyes, and instead of us waking into a dangerous world, we open our eyes and the world awakens to us, and we get to create it. We're like the pen on a blank sheet of paper. We get to create our reality. And this is the absolute truth. We get to create a reality. And we do it just one day at a time. And that's, my saying, one day, one lifetime, which I got from Nakamura, my Zen teacher. Every day is an opportunity, right, to find yourself, to find your wholeness. Like the Buddha says, you can find enlightenment in a single breath if you pay close enough attention. Today's your opportunity to do that. So take it seriously. Train your body, train your mind, train your spirit. Be whole, be present, be compassionate, be forgiving. And guess what? That's probably a good idea, because you don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow for you. This
Truly.
is the warrior's path, right? You just don't know. So bring it today.
Learning, progression, mastery, all the things that come with that. I think those are the things, especially when they're like long, hard challenges that you're getting like learning and progression and mastery through. Those are the things that make life much more meaningful. And I just feel like the older I get, I haven't stopped progressing at all the things I wanted to progress at. I'm a better athlete at 55 than I was at 18. I'm a much better thinker, writer, husband, friend, all those things. I'm better at the things that seem to be most important to me. And yet I still don't feel like I'm good at any of it. I'm better the older you get, as long as if it's a little bit, an inch at a time every day. And when you've been doing that for 20 years or 30 years, oddly, today's inch matters more rather than less, and means more rather than less. And like you'd think that after 20 years of doing something, it would get thinner or weaker, and it actually goes the opposite direction. I respect and like appreciate and go after the progression more, not less, if that makes any sense.
So here's another metaphor, right? The last step you take to reach the pinnacle of Everest is just as important as the first step. Or said another way, the first step is as important as the last. Each step is crucial. You have greater perspective with the last step, so you can appreciate it more. That way we can have the motivation and the grace to just bring 100% to everything we do every day.